Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the VG Pierce. I'll be coming at you with some Rimworld, and we're going to talk about defenses here today. So we're going to load up my game, and we're going to be jumping into a game that I've been playing for quite some time, and is really due to my defenses that has been able to fend off all kinds of manner of attacks and be able to win the day. So we're going to pause this real quick, and we're going to take a quick look at how I've been building my defenses. Now, not every defense is foolproof, but if you guys are out there and are just wondering, okay, how can I make a really good defensive nature, then this is the best way to do it right here. Alright, so as you can see, it really depends on your placement of where you are at the map. And as you can see there, I'm left of center here. And this is kind of good and bad. Now the good news is that I picked a really good spot and I was able to make use of a lot of good areas there, such as having a nice rich soil to build upon and have a lot of crops grow on top of it. But because of this sacrifice, I was building a little bit too close to the left there, and that does mean that things can spawn from right there, and in fact something has. Now when you're looking at defenses here, you gotta look at building it pretty close to the chest. Don't build it your defense is way out here or anything like that, or way out in the no man's land like that. It's like a shield. The closer you put to your body, the better, and the more easier it is to protect the sides. Now what I do is that I make use of my cover system here, okay? So I put down the walls here in a 2x2 manner, and the reason why I do that is so that I have one person standing right there so they can shoot this way, and then I have another person standing right there and they can shoot as well from this direction there. Now I've seen some places where you build one little opening and then you put another one opening there, and that's also a good strategy as well, but that's just what I favor, and it just kind of depends on you. Now the biggest thing you want to do is here is that you always want to put the gun turrets on the outside. You couldn't put it behind the defenses, but what I find is that the enemies will target your turrets and then it'll cause them to blow up in the long run, and so your guys are going to be a little bit more prone to getting attacked because of that blow up here, and then they'll be out for the match. The next thing you want to do is that the defenses, as you can see here, I have a dumping zone here in front of my defenses. Now you might ask, well, why do I have my dump zone there? Well, remember, your guys are, whenever they walk over it, they're going to be slowed down, and that's going to be the same thing for the enemies as well. So if you have your front covered up by these debris, then it will take them a little bit longer for them to traverse and for them to get over, and then after that you can just shoot them up as they're running to you, and that's really useful against melee units that are trying to just get in front of you, and you can try to shoot them down before they even get to you, and they're going to be slowed down because of this. And this is one of the biggest savers that I have had when I've noticed when I'm playing in my games, is that you put the dump zones in front of your defenses like so, and then it will be very difficult for them to get to you. So as you can see there, I put my graveyard in front. That's kind of like a warning. It's just, that doesn't do anything. In fact, it's kind of taking up the space for the dumping to happen, but that's okay. And what you want to do also in the backfield, now I also left these trees up here in the backfield, and the reason being is that sometimes you can't get to your defenses quick enough. Sometimes I cannot post up my people up against these defenses fast enough, and so what I end up having to do is that I allow the enemies to go over, and this is another reason why it's a good idea to have the dump pile zones in front, is so that they cannot make use of your defenses. They cannot stand here because this boulder is in its way. It has to move across here to actually get to you. Now there's this little spot right here that they can stand in front of right there, unfortunately, but for the most part here, if the enemies do come, they cannot make use of my own defensive wall structure. And so if I post up my guys here in the trees, or even back here against these rocks, then what happens is that they cannot use these as their own cover. They have to step across, and then they have to use these trees. So you also have to have a secondary bit of defenses. Now I have not been attacked too many times over here, and actually, since if they do spawn here at the bottom side, I usually can catch them right there, because most of my guys are usually hanging around this garden area or around there, and the doors are also posted up here. The worst part for me to get to the defense is actually over here. So these are the things you have to recognize because the AI is not stupid. They will attack you at your most weakest point. And my most weakest point is at the bottom left, actually. Not this bottom area, not this area here as well. It takes them a very long time to run up here. And by that time, my guys are in position. They can get behind the wall and get behind the turrets and then shoot, shoot, shoot. And then they're all dead. So this is a really good way of doing things. Now, I can tell you here, the statistics, I've only had one colonist killed, and I have played this for over 13 hours on this map. And that's pretty darn good. 12 enemy raids, 19 major threats, and only one colonist killed. That's pretty darn good. And I hope that this defensive measures here will help you out in your gameplay as well. Check me out for some more videos here about Rimworld and also about other video games as well. This is the VG Pierce. Thanks for looking in on my defensive guide here. There's also, this isn't the one and only guide, but again, this will help you on your way. Some little things here and there that you can do for your game. Oh yes, and one more thing is that don't worry about your walls too much here. If they're attacking it, let it go. Your walls are supposed to get blown up. So if they do find a weakness, say they get over here and they're throwing grenades, then no problem. Let them take it out. Just get behind your defenses. They'll blow open a hole, and that's not a big deal. You'll be able to stand in front of it and then shoot them down. That's what the walls are for. Don't just run past your defenses to get into, firing range of the enemy and then die, okay? So again, thanks for joining me. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like my videos, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time.